Hey everybody, so today we are going to be talking about how to plant your fall planted alliums, so stuff in the onion family. So today we're going to show you garlic and shallots. So first thing is that in St. Louis, it's generally best to plant these overwintering onion family crops about mid-October. So usually about October 15th is kind of what we're looking for the planting date. You're going to want to usually get seed, they call it seed garlic, or seed shallots, I guess. I don't know. So you can just get some from the grocery store, but there is the potential that those have diseases in them that maybe you just don't know are there, and then it could spread to other plants. So seed garlic, when you buy it, is stuff that has been certified to not have any diseases or viruses to make sure that your crop is going to be much more likely to be healthy and have a higher production for you. But you can grow stuff that you have saved yourself or stuff from the grocery store. So first thing is we can show shallots first here. So for shallots, if they come like this where they're kind of attached together, you're just gonna pop them apart. This one, it's maybe a little hard to see, but you can see like it looks kind of like one, but if you kind of feel it around in here and you kind of break off that top layer, you can see there's actually two in there. So you can kind of peel that first layer off and then break that up as well. And so we've got a couple here that we can plant. And you want to make sure to leave the papery skin on. You don't want to like peel this down like you would if you were cutting it up to eat it. You want to leave that papery skin on as best you can. If it comes up on accident, it's probably not the end of the world. It'll probably still grow, but you generally want to keep it on as best you can. So garlic, same idea. So if you've got a whole bulb of garlic, you want to kind of peel that outer layer of skin off just so you can see the individual cloves. Again, just kind of like you would if you were prepping it to eat it. And if you look in here as we peel it, you can see there's quite a few cloves. So once you get down where you can see them, then you can kind of gently break those apart. This middle part you don't need. So you can see here we've got now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cloves. So that's what you're planting, is the individual cloves. You're not planting the whole bulb. So that one bulb will get us 5 bulbs, assuming these all grow, which they should. So when you're planting it, it's nothing too fancy. For your soil, it's best to have pretty rich soil. The onion family, kind of garlic, shallots and stuff, are pretty heavy feeders. So it's a good time to add some additional compost to your garden space, wherever it is, kind of right before you plant these crops. And then you can kind of work up the soil a little bit, because you are going to need to plant them relatively deep just because they're big bulbs. So like here, we're going to dig here pretty deep. And in terms of how deep, like you'll see stuff that says like a specific number of inches, but it really depends on how big the clove is that you're planting. But you want to make sure that there's at least like an inch or two of soil over the top of the clove. So like for here, we're just gonna pop it in. And it's also important to remember which way is up. So on the garlic, it's usually pretty easy because there's usually a point on the top, and on the bottom there's this little flat spot. So this little flat spot is where the roots came out, and it's where the new roots will come out as well. So you want those down, not up, because roots go down. So you just kind of stick that in, and you'll space them out about 6-ish inches apart, kind of in that row. And we could, plant all of them, but just so you see there, we're sticking them in. You can see there, it's pretty deep compared to like a seed. And then you're just gonna cover it back up with the soil you have. You could add some compost on top if you haven't already done that already, and then you would just water them in. So the shallots, it's basically the same thing. You're gonna dig a nice deep kind of row or hole. You can see all these lovely Bermuda grass rhizomes coming in through the edges here that we'll pull out as we go. We'll take that in. And then for the shallots, just like with the garlic, it's important that you get the top up. So again, on the shallots, it's pretty easy because there's usually a pretty long kind of flappy part. And then on the bottom, there's that same flat section, just like you see on the garlic. So that flat section is where the roots go. So that goes down, and just about the same. You want it so that it's about an inch or two below the soil surface where that kind of top is. Space them about 6 8 inches apart, and then just cover them back up. I'll pull that Bermuda grass out too. And then as they are heavy feeders, like I said, you can add compost to the top. It's also good just because we're going into winter, and just to help with weed suppression, to add a nice layer of mulch. So whether that be straw, or especially in October, leaves from your yard are great mulches for those plants. You'll want to water them when you first plant them. Usually we're pretty wet in winter, so you don't normally have to water them that much. But if we do have a dry spell in winter, like if it's above freezing, which is happening more and more, where we'll have long periods above freezing and it doesn't rain, you will still want to water them. And then they'll be ready to harvest next summer in around June, July, depending on how the year goes. So that's all there is to it.